Welcome to my last book chat of the year. And happy holidays, no matter which holidays you're celebrating. I decided for my last book chat I was going to go with Christmas cookie cookbooks or cookie cookbooks in general. However, after my last cookbook book chat, I felt a little guilty because I was recommending books that I had not tried recipes from before. So, thanks to my three little elves, also known as my children, we went ahead and tested some of the recipes out of these cookie cookbooks so that I can confidently recommend them. And so I'd like to start first with the Great Minnesota Cookie Book. This book came out just a few years ago, and it's the Star Tribune's holiday cookie contest recipe winners and runner-ups. And there are a lot of fabulous classics as well as some new ones. I did not realize until I read this book how many Minnesotans use cardamom in their holiday cookies. However, we decided not to try cardamom one. We decided to try one that was on page 17, which is the candy cane sugar cookies. Mine didn't quite turn out like those, mainly because we ran out of powdered sugar, so we couldn't do the frosting. However, they were deliciously minty, not mouthwash minty, but fabulous pepperminty minty. And hopefully we'll be able to pick up some powdered sugar to frost them, but we would definitely recommend trying these. There were also others in here, such as cherry pinwheels or chocolate and vanilla pinwheels. I've tried previously from this book too. This is a really good standard book to have. My next one is Pillsbury Christmas 2009. Don't let the year fool you. It's 11 years old, still fabulous recipes. One of the nice things about this cookbook is that it's not only cookies. There are lots of holiday meal ideas. There's meals from around the world. But there are desserts. Now, I didn't want to do, even though these are cookie cookbooks, I didn't want to do all cookies. So we decided that we were going to try some candied almonds. Or excuse me, they are spiced almonds, party almonds. I don't know if you can see them or not. They have chili powder and curry powder and Worcestershire sauce and a little bit of hot sauce. Gotta say, they were good, but they could have been better. They just didn't have the flavor pop. But there are notes next to it. For more flavor, try changing this. I'm a recipe follower the first time. I think I will try them again and maybe try some of the tips to get a little more flavor in them. The third book I'm going to recommend, Sally's Cookie Addiction. This book was really cool to me because every cookie in this book can be made ahead and she tells you how to do it. I'm not a great cookie baker. I like to bake cookies. I don't know how to freeze them, when to freeze them, how long they last. This book for every recipe gives you that information. And the cookie that we tried making, my daughter chose, they're called raspberry almond linzer cookies. They look pretty fancy. And I'd say we did pretty good with them. It was a learning process. We didn't have the little donut or the little hole in the middle to make the donut one. So we scrounged the kitchen and ended up using a lid to something. But we were able to make it, and as it says, if you let it sit for an extra day, the cookies get a little softer. The jam softens everything up. It's a delicious combination. I would check out this book just for that recipe alone, although it looks like there are many good ones in here. My fourth book I'm recommending is called American Cookie. This is one I hadn't seen before, so this is my first time looking through it. And it has a lot of the classical cookies. But when I say classical cookies, they're from all over the US. So there are cookies from the South I've never heard of. The recipe we decided to try, again, wasn't a cookie recipe per se, but something we often have at Christmas time at our house. Peanut brittle. The actual recipe is Ladybird Johnson's peanut brittle. And the picture of what it's supposed to look like and what it did turn out like, I'd say we're pretty darn close. My family has been eating it like crazy. I'm afraid I'm not a peanuts fan, so I'm just going to have to depend on the empty plate to tell you that it was a fantastic recipe to try. So those four cookbooks I can definitively recommend to you as being great cookie cookbooks. I have two more. We weren't able to make recipes out of them, but I'd still like to point them out so that if you would like to try them, this one's called I'm Dreaming of a Chocolate Christmas. It is my daughter's new favorite cookbook. She asked me to bring it back home when we're done because everything in it is chocolate. There are some nice variations on chocolate peanut butter cookies. There are all different combinations of chocolate and everything else. As you can see on the front, it's not just cookies. That looks like a nice little cake there. So this looks like it could be a nice one to try. In fact, on the back at the top, it says Christmas plus chocolate equals heaven. I got to agree with that. So that would be a fun one to try. And then this last one I also hadn't tried a recipe from. It's called Rose's Baking Basics. I'm going to be honest, this one looked a little more intimidating, mainly because I think all the ingredients in it are weighed. I'm a measuring cup kind of person. It's just easier for me. However, this one has everything in it from cheesecakes to scones. She does a great job of doing pictorials. I hadn't tried this one. They looked a little bit more in depth than I could do in these few days. So, any of these cookie books we have here, there are probably hundreds of cookie books in the Selco system. So if you want to make any cookies that way, feel free to request them. Remember, we are no contact pickup only. So feel free to order online or give us a call and we can get the books you want ordered in and then get them checked out to you at a time that works for you. And then you can have your books without even having to come in the door. So happy holidays, everyone. And I hope to see everyone in the new year, happy and healthy.